So there's two ways to open the track list. The track list is every single point that was recorded on that track. So you can either double click over here, which I did the first time, or you can come over here to this bubble and just click on it. It highlights, it underlines when you hover over it. So now that I'm looking at the track list over here, your index points, these index numbers are every time the unit recorded your location. So you can see like the first one, I moved 43 feet, then I moved 7 feet, then I moved 22 feet, etc. There's a lot of points in this list. Okay, I mean, I'm getting real close to 10,000 points here between all of these dates. I'm pointing that out because there's a really good reason to get rid of as much as you can without wrecking your track, your actual track. So today the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and split up all of these dates. So I actually have 1025, 1026, 1120, 1128, 1223, 1226, and today 1115. I will say that using the slider bar is highly recommended. Actually grabbing and dragging the slider. If you are using this, it's going to take you forever. If you're using your scroll wheel, it's going to take you forever. As you can see, I'm still on 1025 and I've scrolled it a bunch. So the slider bar comes really in handy for figuring this out. What I'm looking at here is this column right here, the time column. Has your date and time of the recordings of each of these index points. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the slider bar to get down to the next date, which if I remember, it was 1026. Yep, there it is. So I got down to it. I'm going to have to go back up a little bit. In that case, I'm going to use slow scrolling or, this wheel. Now that I'm here, the other way that you can find these splits in where you want to split the track, usually it can be your leg distance. You can see that I moved all of a sudden very quickly 10.6 miles in 2 points. So from this point to this point, I moved 10.6 miles, which actually coincides with my date. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select that one and I'm going to right click on it and I am going to select divide. So what that did is it split the track into two. So I actually ended up, one of the things that Basecamp will do is whichever one that you divided it on will end up on both tracks on either side of the split. So I want to remove this. I'm going to go ahead and take this off because it's from 1025. I don't need it. And watch over here when I do this, it's going to drop one of these lines. I don't know which one, but it will drop one of these lines. So I just dropped a line here. Now, the rest, because this is the secondary portion of the split, I still have several days on this track. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to go down to the next date, which is 1120. And I'm going to go ahead and split this. We got a 15-mile difference here that happened in 25 days. So make sure you don't hit delete, hit divide. And now it's removed another one of those lines. And I'm going to go ahead and remove this point. Sorry, it didn't remove the line yet. Now it will remove the line. And I'm going to go to the next date, which is 1128. And split it again. And remove that extra point, which will get rid of the line. And I think I have 3 or 4 more of these to do, so I'll just do that real quick. once again, I select the one with the gigantic distance, right click it, select divide, and delete the gigantic distance to get rid of that line. I think I have one more here. And I am using delete. I'm using the delete key on the keyboard to delete that, but you can also right click on it and select delete. It will just delete that one. So I do have one more because after I was done training today, I came home and I turned on the GPS so I can go down to the bottom and find that one. Hopefully, yep, see, now I can look at the time for this, or I can look over here in the leg distance. So I've got a 37-mile distance, but I also jumped from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 9 p.m. So I can actually, instead of splitting this, because I don't care about my track sitting here at the computer desk, I can just hold down this shift key and go to the very bottom, the very last one, and select it. And it'll select not just that line and the last point at which I recorded a point at training, but it will also select all of the extra junk that's down here from when I've been sitting here on the computer. So you can highlight them all and right click and delete, or you can just hit the delete key on the keyboard. It's up to you, user preference. And now I've got rid of that point.